What's up, everyone? Thanks for checking out my channel. If you like my content, drop a like and subscribe to get more. Now, let's get to it. You ever walked into a room before and noticed something was different, something was off, something was not right? Like something happened prior to you walking into that room that changed the environment. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Everybody has faced that at least once before. Whether if it's like walking into a bar, walking into a restaurant, walking into a club, you know, the examples are numerous. And I am confident that I'm not the only person that feels this way when I say that America's 250th birthday that recently happened July 4th, 2026, it didn't feel, something felt different. But like it didn't, I don't know. I know for many people it just didn't live up to expectations because, I mean, America used to be a colony, a British colony, and then it went through two wars, the War of Independence and then the second War of Independence in 1812 when Britain burned down the first White House. And it's interesting, it went from a colony, just this tiny, tiny colony compared to the rest of the world, into the most powerful nation on this earth. It's in 250 years that happened, which is should be something where it should invoke a lot of pride in its people. But something feels different that that pride is not there. And in the place of where that pride is actually exhaustion, disillusion, and confusion, to be honest. I mean, look at the youth. Look at look at Gen Z and Gen A and the ones who will inherit this country. Look at what they have to look forward to. They face significant economic hurdles when it comes to just obtaining employment, just getting it. Where it's regular people who've been working for years are having to put in hundreds and hundreds of job applications just to get one job interview, and that's when they already proven that they can do the job. Compare that to those coming fresh out of college, where they're just struggling just to even get in the door, and they done everything right. They went to college, they studied, they done all that, and this is a problem that's facing virtually all young people. So if you ask them, what do they have to look forward to? They can't find a job, and in this country, you either need to work or you have to come from wealth in order to survive. The third option is living off the land, but sometimes laws can prevent that from happening. But generally, those are the two ways to survive in this country. You either need to work, exchange your labor for money in order to buy things, or be 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 a wealthy person. Be from someone who they had generational wealth where every one of their family members can have cancer 10 times and they can pay out of pocket and still have money left over to not have to work. That type of wealth. So there's definitely a difference, and I don't include like small business owners who might have a second house and like a boat in like that generational wealth category. They're in the first category. Say they need to work in order to provide. Just because they own a small business and have some revenue, even if it's like a couple of $100,000 a year, like ultimately that can run out. Like that can run out. Like it can. Like I mean, in America, we're practically the only developed nation that its people can get into medical debt. So even you can have hundreds and $1,000s saved up, but let a couple of emergencies happen where it's medical emergencies, and those hundreds and thousands of dollars can dwindle very, very quickly. So you're literally only in two categories. You have to work for a living, or you have to just already come from generational wealth. That's the only two ways to survive in America for most people. And the young people, they've seen like their elder generations try to do what should be done, and it's not working out. So for the Gen Z, they seen the millennials, they're having already a hard time right now, and they done everything right. So it's like it comes to the point where you notice mistakes being made so many times and you're seeing it, and you can either make the same mistake as well or try something different. And that explains why this generation, one out of multiple explanations, but Gen Z is not like Gen Z is a different generation, and which makes sense because like ultimately with these wars going on, they're the ones who's most likely going to have to fight it. So again, what do they have to look forward to? Wars, debt, lack of housing, low wages. And if you manage to get if you manage to get a job, you're uncertain on whether or not you will even have it. So there's just this uncertainty. So it's like one of those things where you go back to ask yourself, what is there to be proud of? And you see our leaders, it's like they're completely even ignoring the fact. Like it's incredible actually. I mean, like I wish I was making it up, but there was one point where Donald Trump used to be not exactly pro healthcare, but he was okay, let's get something better than Obamacare. But really, conservatives aren't really happy about spending money on healthcare. That's not, well, through the government, that is. But it's interesting, whereas you had Trump saying this like years ago, almost a decade ago.
So we're going to talk and we're going to see what we can do. We're getting very close. But for the country, we have to have health care. And it can't be Obamacare, which is melting down. The other side is saying all sorts of things before they even knew what the bill was. This will be great if we get it done. And if we don't get it done, it's just going to be something that we're not going to like. And that's okay. And I understand that very well. But I think we have a chance to do something very, very important for the public, very, very important for the people of our country that we love.
And I actually said to them, I said to Russell, don't send any money
for daycare, because the United States can't take care of daycare. That has to be up to a state. We can't take care of daycare. We're a big country. We have 50 states. We have all these other people. We're fighting wars. We can't take care of daycare.
So what do the young have to look forward to in this country? Home prices are soaring. Wages are low. The threat of AI taking everybody's jobs. Politicians that continue to lie and block out the politicians or candidates who would actually want to help their people. So what do they have to look forward to? And like most of the policies, most of the changes that are being pushed either state or federally, usually is by people who are older or people who are wealthy, and those two cohorts usually don't favor causes that the youth actually favor. So honestly, like, if you don't see yourself why the youth in this country, why they've been sold a bad bill of goods, like they seen somebody else be sold a bad bill of goods, and then like when it's their turn, they're choosing not to like engage in the transaction. So it's like it completely makes sense. Like, there's, what future do they have? Like, their job will be automated away, and then they'll be just told like, hey, just learn something else, do something else. Like, and then not even like recognizing the fact that like that something else could also be automated. So it's just basically like saying like you're expendable. Like, nothing, you're expendable. That's it. So what pride does that evoke from a person? Like, you need to work, but your means of making work is being taken from you. So in what reality, in what universe would you be proud of that social contract? So that explains a lot. Well, that's one explanation of many why this 250th Independence Day celebration just didn't have that oomph, just didn't have that pizzazz. Like, it just, I mean, even in Washington D.C., it was hotter in Washington D.C. than places in, like, you know, like in Arizona, like the desert, places in the South. Like, it was literally like triple digits on Washington D.C. on July 4th, and like they literally had to cancel some parades because it was just that hot. And like Washington D.C. is like, a lot of it is like asphalt. There's not a lot of like forest and vegetation to like help cool the area. So when it's triple digits temperatures, and that's in Fahrenheit, triple digit temperature in Fahrenheit for an area where it's like mostly like concrete, marble, like rocks, like that you're gonna feel, you're gonna feel that heat. And like yeah, it was definitely felt that day. But despite that, I still think there's hope for America. Hey, maybe there's hope for a new America, one that actually lives up to its values. But I guess time will tell. Time will tell. Thanks for checking out Music Tech Game. If you enjoy the content, please drop a like and subscribe to get notified on more stuff coming. Yeah, if you want to like say anything about the video, feel free to drop a comment down low. Even if it's bad, like, I'll be interested to hear what you got to say. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you next time. Thank you.